Hey, what's up YouTube? We are back, just going over a little long-term review of the Cervélo Aspero. Just want to give you my 2 cents on how it's been almost been a year, but been getting some great riding on it, and just want to talk about, you know, if it's the right bike for you, or just some general questions that you guys might have that I might just be able to answer in this video. So let's get started. All right, so I did a custom frame up build. So as of right now, heading into 2026, it's August right now, beginning of August. Cervélo is not doing any more frame only options on a lot of their bikes, gravel, road. This is due to the tariffs. It's more expensive to get the frames in and sell them. They would be taking a loss versus selling their complete bikes. So yeah, that's a bummer now. So you can't just get frame only options. Maybe you can find some, you know, floating around from some previous years or something, but yeah, right now, the new stuff, it's gonna be really tough unless you're getting a complete build. So that's, you know, a little bit of a bummer, because I feel like everyone nowadays in the gravel and road community love to customize, well, I guess any bike community, they love to customize their bike to their riding style. So you lose that option a lot now getting one of these bikes. But nevertheless, let's go over it. So I got the frame only option. I'm 5'10", I'm riding a 56, fits perfectly. Along with that, we have Roval Terra wheel set, placed to 350 hubs. I have the new SRAM Red group set, and we'll talk about that in a second, in my opinion. But new SRAM Red XPLR group set direct mount. So we have the direct mount derailleur, we have their new cassette 13 speed, and I'm running a 42 tooth chainring in the front with a power meter and 167.2 crank length. I probably would have gotten 165s or even 160s, but I went with 167.2s to kind of test them out. We have silica titanium bottle cages, the Zip Explorer bars. I believe they're 420 millimeter bars, and also they're carbon. And then we have the Zip Speed. Just double check. Zip has a couple. Yeah, so Zip SL Speed stem, that's carbon. And the specialized mirror saddle, 3D printed. So that's like one of my favorite saddles. They're all over all my bikes. I ride it for mountain biking, road biking, gravel biking. It's an amazing saddle, so can't recommend that enough. And then 140 SRAM rotors front and rear. And this bike is such a trigger for people right now. This bike has a clearance of 45 millimeter tire clearance. So you kind of have to go into buying this bike knowing that 45s are your max. It really cannot squeeze more than that. Maybe in the fork you can do like close to 50, but the rear it's kind of pigeoned at 45. You're in a little bit of a hole there. So I'm gonna go over that as well in a second. But yeah, these are the Schwalbe G1 RS Pros, and they're tubeless. I am also running reserve valves, which are like the best valves out there. They like never clog up, never break, so they've been perfect. But let's go into my long-term review. So I've been using this bike with 45 mil tires pretty much the whole time I've had it. That's kind of like, I love running a thicker tire. I don't really like running 40s. I do a lot of road with this and gravel, I guess you call it roading, but the 45s just have been running super smooth. Gives it a little bit of suspension with the, you know, with the added thickness, so it feels a little bit better on the chatter. But yeah, I mean, I use this bike for a lot of roading. Where I live in Westchester, New York, it's riding your road, you know, doing road riding to the gravel. So not too bad, but nevertheless, the 45s have been great. The Explorer group set. This group set is almost like an all-road group set versus just a gravel group set. A lot of people are running the mullets, where it's the 1x12 mountain bike group set, which I think is more ideal on a gravel bike, unless you're doing more road riding. Then this 13 speed Red Explorer is great, but I think it's a great group set for like an all-road bike almost, not just pure gravel. So I mean, for what I'm doing, it's fine, but a lot of people are still running. You'll see it in the lifetime of Unbound events also. I mean, not Unbound, the lifetime events. People are still running the mullet setup, which is the 1x12 mountain bike group set. So something I'm gonna dabble with. I really was just giving the Red Explorer a long-term test, but you know, you sometimes want to reach for that easier gear, so it's tough on a super steep climb. It's been good so far. The bike handles really well as an overall bike, almost like an all-road bike, but a lot of people get this bike because it feels really nice on the roads and it feels great on the gravel. It is just a bummer just when you go into this, getting this bike is, and it's kind of the fad now, you kind of want longevity in a gravel bike. And if you think you're going to want to put 50C tires or 2.2, 2.1 mountain bike tires, then this probably isn't the bike. A lot of manufacturers now are just coming out with like 50C tire clearance or 2.2, maybe 2.4. Like Allied's got some crazy clearance. And that's kind of what I want in my next gravel bike also. This is an amazing gravel bike, but I do, even though I wouldn't need it all the time, I would love to dabble with different tire choices in the 50C category or 2.1, 2.2 mountain bike category, which, you know, I am going to be building something else up in a few weeks, so I'm excited to showcase that. But that's something you have to go into again. This bike is, you should ask yourself, am I going to run 50C tires? Am I going to run mountain bike tires? And if not, then this is perfect. This is everything you need. I think this is like your road biker's gravel bike also more oriented towards. You can drop road wheels on this and it's going to keep up with your buddies on the road bike. It's a multi-purpose bike, so like some of the other gravel bikes, it's like they're really gravel bikes, not going to work as like a road bike. This is working as an overall super well-rounded bike or all-road bike. Gravel, whatever you want to call it nowadays. There's so many categories, but it works well for everything. The geo, the slackness, it's a really stiff bike. It's just it's a great option for the majority of the people. A lot of people aren't going to be putting over 45C tires. Like these are thick. These are thick for 45. The Schwabs look a little bit thicker in my opinion than other 45, like some of the WTB 45Cs, but it's you know, it's more than enough for me right now, but I would like to dabble with thicker tire clearance. So that's, you know, that's the only thing I feel like I just really want that in my next bike to future-proof it, you know. Kind of like, you know, everything's a big investment now, you know, cost of everything's going up, so you kind of want longevity in a bike, and I guess that would put it, you know, you kind of want that to have it last. So if it can have 50C tire clearance max, maybe one day you guys would want to dabble with that, then maybe this wouldn't be the bike. But if 45s are great, and maybe you're doing more road gravel than gravel, or if you're just doing gravel but it's not intense gravel, then this is perfect. But this bike is also super comfortable. It's one of the most comfortable drop bar bikes I've ever ridden. So Cervelo has like that magic touch that a lot of people talk about, where it's very comfortable. Not, you know, I never have back problems, and I have like lower back problems, never have it on this. I have it fit pretty nice for me. Again, 5'10", pretty much on the dot with shoes, and I ride at 56 comfortably, and I just haven't had a problem with fit or comfort with this bike. Really just my main thing is just would love to run 50C tires in some cases, or just put a mountain bike tire on. So that's kind of just my only flaw with it. But other than that, it's an amazing bike. Couldn't recommend it enough to you guys. If you have been dabbling with the thought of getting one, I'd say go for it, as long as you're fine not putting 50C tires on, which a lot of people aren't. You know, really just look at what you're riding. It's kind of like mountain biking and getting a cross-country bike. Are you going to be using this bike for more aggressive gravel and want to run more than a 45C tire? Then you wouldn't really be looking at this bike. But if you're doing more road, or just like not as much intense like gravel, or getting into some single track mountain bike stuff, you know, then this will be fine. But again, most people, the trend now, I've been blabbing about this whole video, is just the tire clearance. So if you aren't even thinking about that, this is perfect. Very comfortable bike. Couldn't recommend it enough to you guys. And all the red stuff, like these brakes, let me go over that too. One finger braking is amazing. Like, I can't go back. I really can't go back. It's so nice to just be able to go like this, and not have to have the throw going all the way to the knuckles also. More spread out over here. I think these also, from what I see, increase the reach a little bit just because it's so long. Not like crazy noticeably, but like couple millimeters, you know, here and there. But something to consider if you're fitting the bike with these the new Explorer group sets from from SRAM. And I do love the blips on the hoods. Those come in handy too if you're riding a lot like on the hood. It's super nice to have. So, but again, one finger braking, I couldn't go back. If I was to do this build again, I would do the new Force group set, hands down. I wouldn't do red. Same with my road bike setups. I would do the new Force, like they came out with the new Rival and Force is the sweet spot. Red's nice and bougie, but Force is just, it's so much, it's less expensive, but you're getting the same performance as the red group set, and also the new Force cranks look badass. So again, I would probably just build this bike up again as the new Force group set, and I would, you know, I would probably do the mullet 1x12. So like maybe an XXSL rear derailleur, an XXSL cassette. But, you know, again, as an all-road setup, kind of what I've been doing a little bit more lately. The 1x13 has been fine. Again, just really wish, you know, sometimes you try to reach for that easier gear and it's not there if you're going uphill. So on the steeps, this is where it kind of just, you get, you know, you reach your limitations. So something to consider when you're building it up as a frame build. This bike also weighs 18 pounds, which is pretty light. And then with all this stuff, around 19, a smidge over 19, but again, it's a light build for what it is. You know, it's around 18 pounds, but with pedals, all that stuff, a smidge over 19. So you can get, if you're fine with that weight. I know a lot of people are, you know, really trying to get the lightest bike, but again, I think that's, you know, I haven't felt anything slowing me down with the weight of this bike. I think that's light, and that's light for me. So again, you can, it's depending on how you build it out. A lot of the stock ones that you buy, they're gonna be around that 20-pound mark, or, you know, pretty close to it. So we've weighed a couple of I've seen a couple of the GRX ones and weighed them, and they get close to 20. So it really depends how you built the frame out, or built the bike out. But again, this one, with all the red components, I could probably lose a little bit more with the lightest wheel set. This isn't the lightest wheel set, but again, I'm not too concerned with the weight of this one. But again, this is the new, well, I guess it's been a year, so not new, but Cervélo Aspero, not the Aspero 5. That's a completely different bike than this bike now. It used to be just a carbon layup difference. The Cervélo Aspero 5 is just a totally different bike. So you have the Aspero 5, so don't get confused when you're doing your research. But yeah, I'll leave a link in the description just so you guys can go on Cervélo's website and check out some cool stuff. But yeah, this is the Cervélo Aspero custom build, long-term review, and just some of my thoughts. Like and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, we'll see you next time.